If you guys are as silly as us and you've got to have electric windows, then you better watch this video. Alright guys, working on the big block blown 35 Chevy again. Haven't worked on this thing for a while. Dusty, dirty, sitting over here in this corner. So it's getting together, steering columns in, so forth. But anyway, what we're doing here is working out some power windows. So yeah, we had to build all the bracketry and so forth. So this is the kit. I'm going to get into that, but this side's just about done. It goes up and down, it works good. Only problem is when you've got these cars with such a narrow, I'm just trying to get in here, such a narrow cavity for the window, you lose height or length in the window, because these aftermarket window kits, they're power window kits, they're designed for flat glass, and I'll get into that too later on as we get into this video. But so you're going to be limited by the width of your door cavity here. You see what I'm saying? So the window runs into the door about this point, so obviously you're going to lose height up here. Yeah, sure, you can cut this window up here a bit. The window is going to rock in between the two channels here in the window support, so you've got to be very careful with that. The more distance that window can travel down, the more stable the window. So there's that. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing that side over here, get that all done, and I'll show you the brand. So yeah. All right, here's the kit. It is made by Easy Wiring Inc. I think they are the guys that supply the kit. I think it's made somewhere else. It says here, I don't know if you can read that. Let's get rid of it. But it says dolphin. I don't know if you can read that at all. But dolphin, and there's a dolphin on it and the word dolphin. I don't know where they're made. I'm pretty sure they're made overseas somewhere. But they're the instructions you get. And it's pretty easy. And it says right here, minimum dimensions. Measure the distance between the glass and the door. A minimum of 1 inch is needed to mount the new regulator. A minimum of 7 inches below the glass, when it's at its lowest position, is necessary for the windows to have full travel. A minimum of 2 inches of door thickness is also necessary to mount the motor. The motor occupies the bottom 5 inches of the regulator. When the glass is full opposition, the glass must extend down into the door a minimum of 1.5 inches. So, I mean, they're the specifications and that they require, but that's all you get. After that, you're all on your own. Here's a diagram on how it attaches to the glass, which has just got 2 bolts on each side here that clamps onto the bottom of the glass, and there's all the stuff you get. You get wiring kit with it. You get all the hinges, the switches comes with it. There they are in there. Bracketry. Here's the motor here with that bracket. And yeah, just all bits and pieces, but it's not overly hard to do. Yeah, well, let's get into it. This kit comes with the 2 channels for each side of the window. It comes with the motor to run the center channel here. It comes with this section here that's for the wire to run up and down. So it'll run up as it comes down, it'll come up here and run up that, and we've got it situated like that. So I had to make these brackets up for the runners because there's nowhere else to bolt it. These doors were already made like this. Someone had modified the doors. It already had half skin on it, so I don't even really know what the inside of the door is supposed to look like. We never had any hardware, original hardware for the windows to wind up and down. We didn't have any glass. The quarter vent windows, these had quarter vent windows in them. They've been removed, so we're really working with nothing for windows in this car. It was an old drag car, so it had no windows. It probably had just perspex in there at one point, or plastic sort of windows in it. But anyway, so the owner wants to have power windows. You can't find any sort of parts for these. So someone had made this top section for the door channel up here. And I had to, as you can see here, it was 1 inch by 1 inch right in there. See it? 1 inch by 1 inch. Well, the felt section here, the door felt here, the glass felt here, that the window slides in and out was too wide, obviously. So I had to cut that out and put 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. And I've done this side already, and I've done that side already as well. So I had to narrow this down. So when the garnish molding goes on, it'll you know, be able to sit in there and have a felt on each side, or people call them fuzzies. But anyway, so I had to make these brackets here and another bracket for the middle that held the motor up, 2 drop down brackets, and they give you a bracket to put on the motor somewhere to support it, but I had to shorten it and put make it into a 90 degree, another brace for this side. Ideally, I reckon the best, thinking about this now, the way I made this, and as you can see, I've made it so it'll kick out and get as close as I can to the inner door skin, is I would make that out of 90 in hindsight now, you know what I mean, for extra strength, but you ain't going to move that. That is rock solid. There's no way you're moving that. Yeah, so come up good. We had to actually shorten the height of this as well, but it's a universal kit. I reckon you can put it just about in any cars, as long as you've got a decent sort of, I think they say in the instructions, it's 2 inches minimum is for the motor to sit in there, and you can see that that's nice and tight. But I'm saying that you can put this universal kit in most any car. I mean, this is a 35 Chevrolet, so I mean, I think it'll fit in a Tri-5. I think it'll fit in anything that's got a decent door cavity. The idea is for the window to go up and down at its fullest extent, and that's a problem we've had with this, is that this window comes to about there on the way down because of where it hits the door skin. It just dramatically folds down. So like I said, guys, this is pretty much all done. This side here works good, and I'll show you that later. But we're going to start on that door, get that door done. All right, now first thing we're going to do is we're going to work out these channel runners that the felts, door felts here run into. And it looks like, looking at that one over there, it looks like it comes down on the, looks like it comes to around about here, like almost halfway down the door. So I'll work that out and I'll roughly cut them sort of like ready for length. They sort of like finish up around, here, and then kind of like go in this here. So they continue on, and that's that channel. So get those two done first, get them to length, and then I'm going to make a foot like that one over there. See, it's got a foot that connects to this section here. So it'll come out and then up, and it'll connect onto here. Same on this side over here. It'll come down the channel, down here, right beside this latch here, down here, and I'll have a foot that sits here, goes up and connects. I've got to get it as close as I can to that door skin, but not obviously touching it, but you know, an 1/8 or a 1/4 is fine, as long as I can get some gap in between it. So get that done first, work them out, make them feed up, and go from there. Okay, so all this bracket here is all made up. The channel is welded to the bracket. Now this will be different if you're putting them in a Ford or a Chevy or a Dodge or whatever you're putting them in. This is the bracketry that I'm making for 35 Chevy that's been extensively modified with all the doors. So each power window kit will be different, but well, every application will be different sort of mounting. But yeah, now right there, I made a tab, and I'll pull it out. There's a tab right there. See that tab? It's got a welded nut behind it, and that's for our in and out adjuster, which I'll show you in a minute. As you can see, I've got an adjuster, and if you have a look right to the bottom middle of the screen, there's a washer welded to that threaded all thread there. It's 1/4 inch. That's the adjuster. So it's got a washer on that side. You can see that washer. That washer adjust this rail here. Let me get to it. It adjusts this in and out. So if you screw it in, then it moves it in. If you screw it out, it moves it back out. And at the moment it's adjusted. At the moment it's adjusted right there, right? So when you put on your felt rubber, your felting, your channel there, into the channel, right, it looks like that. And it's fully adjustable in and out. And you can have side to side adjustment too. If this channel needs to move each way, you can slot the holes out, and so it's adjustable, so you can turn it in and out both sides, and that'll never ever move. I mean, the window will roll up and down that. At the moment we've got the other one getting done for this side. The hole's already pre-drilled, and Steve's working on making the that adjustment bolt. Okay, here's the channel. This part bolts onto the bottom of the door. The hole's not drilled yet because I need the glass in there for a final adjustment. Here's the top of the channel. The felt runs in here. So here's the bolt here. It actually threads in like this. So you thread it in this way, or bolt it in like that. Right, so it looks like that. And then this goes on side of the inside panel of the door, the inner door, right? And that'll adjust it in and out like this. So basically, in and out, it'll push it in if it's got to go in, it'll push it out if it's got to go out. And that all does it with this washer and this nut like that. Right, can you imagine that? And I'll show you how that looks in a minute. So here it is here. That end goes up into this hole like this, just slides into that hole like that. So as you can see, I've already made one of these, just got it already bent up into shape. And now we're gonna make a couple of tabs, get them all ready. Not weld them in yet, but have everything ready to go, and then just tack weld these in, put it in, make sure it works up and down good, and that should be it for that side. And then we'll paint everything, and that's it. So let's make them now. So that's in position. This has to come back a bit, but that's in your side adjustment, so that's no worries. Just got to come back a bit and back that way a little bit. And I'm not going to drill these holes until the glass is in there. Okay, on our application, we have to chop the top of this window regulator down to about here. I've already done the other side, so that's where it was. So we're going to chop it off there, and then first I'm going to put a brace across here so it doesn't move around. Then I'm going to take this off here. I'm going to move this to the other side of this line here, so that once I brace it, that will go on the other side here. On my application, on the application we're putting this window in, not all. Every application will be different. It's a universal fit. Alright, so I cut the top edge off. I welded a brace across here so it wouldn't move. And then I had to make a new one of these like that. And I just made it the same sort of way and tack welded it on there so it won't move, and there's no way that's moving. So that's shortened because that would have stuck out past the window frame of the door edge, because it's so short, you know, like the window frame itself, the picture frame area, and this would have been up to about I think 5 inches past it. So that'll sit underneath now, and now I'll just set it in the window jamb. Okay, so now we're going to set up the actual mechanism, the regulator as you would call it, into the door frame area. Steve made up these brackets here. Got a chamfer on this side. It's going to sit on here. It's going to sit on here in this area. So I bolted them on there, make life easier, and that's it. The bottom one will bolt to a bracket here that I already made. I just got to shorten and put holes in it. Alright, so welded these brackets up. They're on there, just put 3 welds on each. Put the holes in that bracket I made. Bent up this bracket. everything's all the bolt holes and are all in for the brackets to hold it in. So yeah, it's come up good, it works, goes up and down nice like the other one. So next thing to do is take off the brackets and paint them black, and paint these two while we're at it like the other side. So that's another job complete on the 35 electric windows and a 35 coupe universal kit. Easy Wire was it? The company that made it? I'll have to have another look. But anyway, they're on eBay and Amazon and all them. They're pretty cheap kit. They're multi-fit. They work great. You can get this motor anywhere if it ever fails. They're on everything. Those sort of little motors, those little black motors. Wipers, remote electric windows. So there you go. Alright guys, this side's all done. Happy with the way it came out. Came out good. Only had a couple of little problems with this track here, the inner track. Didn't realise that it was moving inwards and locking up the gear in here. There's like a cog gear in there, and we didn't pick up on it, and it was just moving in enough where it would lock up the motor. It would like pull everything in. So we just put a couple of tacks on it, and that stopped that problem. But guys, it's all working good. It just works like the other side. Really happy with the way it turned out. So please guys, like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, while I'm here guys, check out Montana Garage, Brad. Good guy. He's part of the mob that me, Steve, a few other guys are Tri-5 mob. We're all a bunch of guys loving Tri-5 Chevys. Check out Brad when you get a chance. Check out his stuff. He does really good work. Alright guys, please like, subscribe and hit the notification bell.